What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about one of the world's most northern cities, and it's located in Norway. It's a city called Hammerfest, and today I want to take a look at a documentary all about Hammerfest and what life is like there. But first, let's start by taking a little look at this map so I understand where we're talking about. So this is way up in northern Norway. You really gotta zoom in here. Oh wow. Oh, there's actually a lot of little cities and towns up here in the very, very north of Norway. Oh my, I know that the living conditions are very difficult the further north you get. Where's Hammerfest? Oh, there it is. Okay. Zooming in. Zooming in. Oh. Oh, it's actually located on a little island. Oh, I didn't know that. It's actually on a little island on the northwestern part of this island. Way in the north of Norway. By the water. What are all these other places? Are these like towns? I think Hammerfest is unique because it's actually a large settlement of people. Man. So basically, I'm really interested to learn about what life is like when you're living that far north. So I found this little documentary here that's really going to go into detail about it. A film by David Rosanis. So let's take a look.
November, high on the cliffs of the fjord overlooking Hammerfest, the world's northernmost city.
Oh.
In a few minutes, it will be noon. The Arctic sun barely skims the horizon. Soon.
This is noon? This is noon? That is so weird. Oh, that's so strange. Look how low the sun is. In the middle of the day. That's just what happens when you get this far north in Norway. Strange things start happening.
Soon, it will set for the last time this year and won't rise again until late January. The next 2 months will be pitch black, day in, day out.
What? Wait, what? 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 What did they just say? Hold on. The sun is going to set for 2 months?
January. The next 2 months will be pitch black, day in, day out.
I did not know about this. I've heard of the midnight sun, where the sun can be up in the sky at like midnight. Or, it can be dark in the middle of the day, but in Hammerfest, you lose the sun completely. The sun sets for 2 months. I had no idea that was possible. That is absolutely insane. That's crazy. What? And so if you live in Hammerfest or in this part of the world, this is just something you have to get used to. Wow, how do you go without sun? You're just living in darkness for 2 months. That's unbelievable.
The city nestled in the fjords sinks into darkness.
Wow.
The last rays of light dim over the gas-rich island of Melkoya, an Arctic Circle treasure house. It's a straight shot from here to the North Pole.
Wow.
The area's gas fields are a viable alternative to Russia's. All of Europe envies Finnmark, Norway's northernmost county, and one of the world's richest regions in the world's richest country.
So it's a rich region. It's got oil, but you have to be ready for some pretty extreme living conditions.
Not quite 2 p.m., night eternal has fallen. We head across the bay to Andy Sombi's house. Sombi is a lawyer and a member of one of the Great North's minority groups, the Sami.
Wow. Wow, so this is the first day of 2 months of darkness in Hammerfest. That's really interesting. That's kind of cool that's where they're starting this documentary.
My people are the Sami people. And our presence here is very long presence.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. We're interviewing someone who's part of the Sami, which I know is a group of Norwegians, like indigenous Norwegians or native Norwegians, people who have been living in Norway for a very, very, very long time.
And we live in the northern part of Norway,
Okay.
Sweden, Finland, and Russia.
Right,
We
okay,
have
okay.
a common language, and we have been living as Arctic people, as an Arctic people.
I didn't realize the Sami people, they're not just Norwegian. They live in Sweden, Finland, Russia, all of this northern sort of area. Um, so the Sami people actually inhabit many different countries, not just Norway.
Hunting sea mammals,
Wow.
doing reindeer herding,
Right.
Arctic farming, and also gathering. And our subsistence has been based on that.
Huh.
So here we have been living for long, long times in this strange world that sometimes have the day that never ends.
The day that never. So are there periods of time in Hammerfest where it's just daylight? Just daylight nonstop? But right now it's nighttime nonstop. This is just kind of a crazy place in the world to live. I don't mean any offense, but I'm sorry, as an American, I gotta say, this is just strange to me. I had no idea people actually lived like this.
Or the night that never ends.
Wow. Night that
It's
never
very
ends.
important for our cosmology, light, because light carries so much information here.
Yeah.
It's so dramatic. For example, now when we have the skapma.
You know, I don't know if Hammerfest ever. I see that they have some street lamps, like just a normal amount of lights and street lights, lamps. What if Hammerfest built like thousands of giant lights? Bear with me. Thousands of giant lights to try to simulate the sun, just to lighten up the whole city. Huh? Would that be possible?
The blue time, some call it the dark time.
Yeah.
It's a very dramatic human experience. So for us, this time is a very sacred time. It's a time of meditation. We used to say that this time when the sun is under the horizon, it is the time of thoughts. You have to think.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do when you have 2 months of darkness? So basically, anyone who lives here, you have to do this every single year that you're alive. You have this 2 months of darkness. That is traumatic. That is a really dramatic experience.
Existential things, on practical things, on what you are going to do with your life, what you have done with your life so far.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Maybe sitting around in the dark isn't the greatest thing. Really gets you thinking about life and your purpose, and might make you think a little too much.
My hero in that respect is a bird that is called the grouse bird. During winter time, it's white as the snow. And that is a very amazing thing to be in the same rhythm as the nature. And I can even yoik this bird, the grouse bird. Beo, kabeo, kabeo.
Who is this guy? This is a really interesting guy. So, I don't know. The beginning of this documentary is basically just an interview with somebody who lives in Hammerfest, happens to be Sami, and has, I don't know, experienced this darkness for their whole life. And now he's making bird sounds. So,
Pew, ka-pew, ka-pew, ka. Real Sahai. Oh, no, 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 no.
I don't know exactly what he's doing. But maybe he was right about the darkness kind of getting to you. Is he doing some kind of like song, or I don't mean to like make jokes about the culture, but it's kind of, as an American, it's like I don't know what these sounds are.
An odd character welcoming these dark hours.
Yeah.
It would be tempting now to return to southern Europe and wait things out in a land where winter nights last no more than 12 hours.
Yeah.
Wait it out and return in early January.
Oh man, Tromsø. I've learned a little bit about Tromsø. I didn't realize how north Tromsø is. So does Tromsø also experience some of this prolonged nighttime, this darkness for months? Because Tromsø is a pretty big Norwegian city, right? Yeah, it's dark. Definitely dark.
A tad south of Hammerfest in the city of Tromsø, Finnmark's administrative center, population 100,000.
Wow.
They're in their 45th day of the dark season.
Wow.
One wonders how any civilization could spring up where there is so little light.
Wow. Wow. So Tromsø experiences the darkness as well. I did not know that. 100,000 people. There's a lot of Norwegians out there who go through this dark season. I had no idea.
Early in the morning, on the edge of the city. Anywhere else you would see signs of dawn breaking. Here, nothing will change.
Right.
It will still be night. Night leading into night.
That's so crazy. That's so weird. It'd be like a dream. You just wake up and it's dark. You go home from work, still dark. You look out the window, dark. Every time of the day. It'd be kind of unsettling, really.
It's disconcerting.
Yeah.
Many claim that it can cause mentally unstable people to lose their points of reference and slip into psychosis.
Yeah, sure.
How do you anchor yourself to reality in perpetual darkness?
Yeah.
Do you check the clock frequently to stay moored? Or do you simply let go and go with the flow?
Yeah, it's weird. Like you'd have no sense of time. No sense of what time of day it is. Plus, on top of that, it's darkness. If it were bright out all the time and light, that's a little better. It's still disorienting. But something about having darkness all the time is disorienting and like a bit scary.
Yeah, we are living beyond the Arctic Circle, that's for sure. And there is a certain variety of climate attached to living here. And we may call it a little bit extreme at times. Some people may also actually call it exotic. When I ask people what is exotic about northern Norway, it's particularly the light. But
it is exotic. Like, trust me, most Americans have no idea that northern Norway, lives in darkness for months out of the year. Americans have no idea.
Try to socialize, we try to focus on other things, and we get through the dark season as well.
Yeah. Find a way.
Tromsø is somewhat unique in the northern part of Norway because it is somewhat also a international city.
Okay.
And it has long traditions for being open towards the world. Not only open towards the Arctic as a gateway to the Arctic, but actually...
Interesting. Tromsø has a lot more visitors from other parts of the world. I bet people are shocked when they visit Tromsø from other parts of the world. When tourists come, foreigners, it must be such a shock.
actually, in the 1840s, it was called La Paris du Nord, the Paris of the North, because here people picked up fashions from abroad and just were walking in the streets as if they were in Paris, so to say. It's a vibrant city up in the north.
Huh. Interesting.
I think we shall not pathologize living up in the northern part of Norway, even though there might be some sleep disturbances, even though loss of energy.
It's cool to, like, see everyone's just going on their day as normal. People just keep going. The cars are out, the lights are on, people are walking around. People are just going about their life as normal. That's all you can do.
Even though, you feel that, okay, the dark season lasts long enough.
Yeah.
Adaptation is very important. We have developed coping skills to live here, otherwise we'll have to live somewhere else.
Right. That's what I was getting at earlier. If you live somewhere like this, where it's so extreme, you have to find a way to adapt, to make it okay. It'd be fun to hear about what people do during this time period, during this dark season. Like, what kind of things people do to kind of get through it.
Dr. Kai Krog is one of the world's leading experts in psychoses and traumas of all sorts. As a social psychologist, he rejects the notion light-deprived Arctic regions favor mental illness. Most people get along quite well here, he says. Never.
Okay, so people think living in areas like this maybe encourages mental illness. God, that's a dark thought. But I understand it. Like, does living in such a dark place do anything to your mind? Or is that not true? He seems to think that's not actually true.
Nevertheless, the city of Tromsø is home to the largest psychiatric research center and hospital in Northern Europe.
Oh, wow.
This is where we met Lise, a regular. She doesn't fare well during the dark season. Her psychiatrist, Dr. Vij Hansen, also questions the widespread idea of seasonal depression.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. So, it just so happens Tromsø has a mental illness facility, one of the biggest in Europe. But they're kind of arguing against the idea that people go a bit crazy living in places like this. That's an interesting thought. I'm curious to see what they have to say, but I also think this is a good place to stop for now. This is a very long, video, so it's going to take me a couple of different episodes, different parts to finish this. So I think I'm going to stop here and continue in part 2. If you've enjoyed this so far, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on Hammerfest, Tromsø, what life is like in northern Norway. If you live in northern Norway, that'd be amazing to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, or part 2 of this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.